Now, leadership is serious responsibility. Unfortunately, some leaders, many leaders actually fail when it matters most. There can be embarrassing moments for leaders when everyone is depending on you, when the whole team is looking up to you, when you are expected to bring to bear the best of you to resolve a tricky situation, a challenge at hand. Some leaders, many leaders, are just unable to rise to the occasion. Very embarrassing. And they know in themselves that at those points, they lack the capacity. They lack the capacity, all right, to truly show up as leaders. And those of them who are not sincere enough want to bamboozle their way, as we say, through such situations. Instead, they use such situations to intimidate their people. They even shy away from taking responsibility. They accuse their people of, that they should be able to handle such situations as though they could do something, but they have just chosen not to do anything because their people, are not proving themselves to be responsible. Now, all of that is just hiding behind one finger, as they say. As I often say, it is true that a leader is not supposed to know everything. No one can know everything. But the truth is, a leader must know how to resolve every problem, even if it means going to seek counsel from others who have gone ahead, who have more exposure, who have more experience. All right? But the leader has to be the one who takes the initiative, who works things out. Imagine, for example, when David returned, from a war, successful, from the war, victorious. But on getting back to his own base, his city had been devastated. His people had been carried away, including his wives and children, and the wives and children of all those who went to war with him. All right, they had been taken captive. And when they returned, it was a sorry situation, and everyone cried. They cried so much, nobody could, appease them or appeal to them. And they even accused their leader, David, as being the cause of the whole thing. And David cried himself. He was human after all. But he didn't stop at crying, because crying was not going to resolve the problem. At some point, he had to shake that off, display his resilience, take on his responsibility, and do the needful. Because that was a time that it truly mattered most. But the reason that he was able to come through was because he had a spirit in him that was an excellent spirit. He had an excellent spirit in him. It's the reason why some leaders excel and other leaders fail, falter, or are simply full of excuses when problems arise. You don't want to be one of those kinds of leaders. You want to be a leader who truly shows up as a leader when it matters most, when it becomes issues of life and death, when a lot is at stake. You want to be that kind of leader. But can you be that kind of leader? Do you have the kind of spirit that a David had, that Daniel had? Daniel was one leader, even though he was relatively young. But he was such a leader, and he proved to be such a leader who was capable, who excelled, who did not falter, who never failed, who did not just get by. He was not an average man. He was an exceptional leader. And we're told why he was an exceptional leader. The spirit, an excellent spirit, was found in him, we were told. An excellent spirit was found in him. So if you carry an excellent spirit, you will not face any situation, whether it is life and death or not. Just like David, just like Daniel, sorry, yes, like David as well, and not be able to figure out a way or figure a way out of it. It is that spirit that makes excellence of leaders. It is that spirit. You want to be a leader after that order, a leader like Daniel, a leader who is preferred above all his colleagues, even his superiors. The go-to leader when critical moments arise. You want to be the leader that everyone can rely on, that is dependable, that always knows how to get out of bottlenecks, that knows how to still succeed in spite of, meeting crossroads. You want to be that kind of leader that everyone knows is a leader indeed, is a mark, a hallmark of excellence. You need to cultivate the excellent spirit. And the excellent spirit is expressed in how much wisdom you have, how much understanding you have, how much knowledge you have, your ability to tackle hard problems, to explain enigmas, your ability to figure out puzzles, the same things that prove difficult for others. It's not about physical strength. That's not what the excellent spirit is about. The excellent spirit is about intelligence, is building that intelligent capability or capacity such that in the face of any challenge, you can be relied upon to figure out a way. Jesus was never stranded, never. He always knew what he would do. He always knew what he would do, but he was guided by his spirit. He was guided by his spirit. And by the way, he was prepared in the same way that he was prepared specially for his assignment. And I believe that through that preparation, which was undertaken under the tutelage of the Spirit of God, a boot camp of sorts, 40 days, he contacted. That spirit was poured out upon him, all right, beyond measure. The same thing with Daniel. Daniel was one among many guys who were separated specially, all right, to see whether they had what it took, or they could be trained, developed, empowered to stand in the king's palace or to serve, at that very high level of leadership. And in the end, he proved to be 10 times better than all his contemporaries, himself and his friends. He was out of that training. He said an excellent spirit was found in him. How did the excellent spirit get there? It got there through training. It got there through the study, the pursuit of knowledge, of wisdom, of understanding, of a special kind. Indeed, of one who has the same spirit, of one who has the same spirit. It reminds me of what was said about Elijah and Elisha when they saw, after Elisha died, when they saw Elijah, the people said, the spirit of Elijah rests upon Elisha. The spirit of Elijah rests upon Elisha. That means there was a transference. That means Elijah contacted that spirit. And he did so by focusing intently on his master and desiring a transfer of the double portion. And subsequently, did you read that Elisha was ever stranded? Was there ever a situation that he faced that he couldn't, walk around it, overcome it? And we're told that he even did greater works, twice as much, all right, as his master did. That is what an excellent spirit is about. You can contact it, you can cultivate it, you can activate it, you can nurture it, and you can live by it even today. And I'll tell you one way to do that. Look at one person who embodied that spirit. And I know one person who embodied that spirit is Jesus. Jesus embodied that spirit. He was never stranded. He was well trained, thoroughly furnished. One time, very young, he said, I must be about my father's business. Being about his father's business at that time was learning. He was learning. He was in pursuit of knowledge. Knowledge about who? Knowledge about God, who had an excellent spirit. And subsequently, he came under the tutelage also, 40 days. Very intentional, very deliberate, very focused preparation. Boot camp, I call it, under the guidance of the spirit of the same person who was an excellent spirit. The Holy Spirit is an excellent spirit. We're told he will guide us into all truth. So, how do you contact that kind of spirit? Well, look at Jesus as an example. Study his life to know what is it that characterized his life more than others. What was at the core of his conduct, so that you can identify the significant feature, all right, behind the way he lived. And that will tell you what the secret of his excellence, what the secret of his success is. In the case of Jesus, it is his parables. Without doubt, his parables. Without any doubt, his parables were told very clearly. He never taught without his parables. He always used his parables to teach, to accomplish his mandate. He was guided by the principles contained in his parables, the mysteries, the secrets, the insights. They are all there in his parables. The thing about his parables is that it doesn't matter in what area you are operating, whether you are in technology, whether you are in accounting, whether you are in carpentry, whether you are in, trading, irrespective, they are principles of life, core principles of life, the truth that show you how to deal with people, that show you how to behave, that show you how to invest, that show you how, to relate, to manage relationships, that show you even how to manage your health. Those are the kinds of insights that are contained there. And so when you identify the parables as a significant feature, a so-called custom that he followed, it tells you that if I want to succeed like him, if I want to cultivate that excellent spirit like him, I should go into those parables. If I study those parables, if I observe, meditate on them, observe to do, play my role, I will cultivate that spirit. My capacity to excel and to be successful in everything I do will be significantly boosted. That's the secret. That's the secret. You want to be successful? Locate people who are successful. Find out what's the significant feature of their lives, particularly the customs. All right? Seek to understand them, study them, find out how to execute them, begin to apply them in your lives, and see what happens. And see what happens. That's how it is done. That's how it is done. So the leaders that excel have this kind of characteristic. They have the spirit of excellence, or the excellent spirit working in them. And they contacted, for the most part, that excellent spirit by going through a dedicated time of study under somebody who is capable, not just under anybody, not just a personal private study. Jesus did not undertake 40 days of fasting by himself, without supervision, without guidance, without direction. No. He said the Spirit took him on a 40-day adventure. He was brought into a boot camp and schooled. He fasted and he prayed. But in this case, the fasting is different. All right? The fasting is doing what you normally do not do. All right? Stay away from the things you do. Focus on the things you normally do not do because of what they have to offer you. Okay? That's how to cultivate the excellent spirit. So you want to be one of those leaders who excel. Now you know what to do. But let me offer you an opportunity through a program that I just put together. And I call it Equip. Equip, because that's what it does. It equips you with the capacity to excel. It equips you with all you need, all right, to accomplish excellence in anything you do. That's what the program is about. It's a 40-day program, just patterned after, that of Jesus. But I guess in some sense quite coincidental, because it's an adventure into the parables of Jesus. There are 38 of those parables, and we'll be looking at one per day over a period of 90 minutes, every day, over 40 days. So 38 parables plus an opening day, an overview, and a closing day, all right, a summary, making a total of 40 days. That should be your own equivalent of the kind of boot camp that Jesus went through to prepare him to be able to walk the path of excellence that he subsequently was associated with. I call it Equip. Upgrade your capacity to excel. And I know you need it. You may not have taken those parables of Jesus very seriously as you should. But I guarantee you are the one missing. Because they are not told as mere stories. They are not told for pleasure. They are not told so that you and I can get excited. He didn't even tell that for his own self-aggrandizement. No. They occupy a place of huge significance. If you want to experience the quality work that he had, where he was able to handle every situation, where he never balked in the face of any challenge, where he accomplished excellence with ease. That's the program that I would recommend for you. Equip excellence with ease. Surely you can invest 40 days at 90 minutes a day. Now you know that it's going to be focused, it's going to be intensive, it's going to be purposeful, and there is what you will get at the end: an excellent spirit, significantly upgraded capacity to excel, something that will make you preferred, something that will boost your confidence as you walk in life, such that you can face any situation, just like Jesus was called to face diverse situations. a storm, somebody possessed, somebody blind, different kinds of challenges. But he dealt with that in his stride, never running away, shying away, or giving excuses, because he always knew what he would do. And his mother knew that. Those who were close to him knew that. So much so that at the wedding at Cana in Galilee, they told those servants, whatever this man tells you to do, do it. Whatever he tells you to do, do it. That means they knew that this person knew exactly what to do in every situation. He knew what to do in every situation. You and I can be like that, and we should strive to become like that. And we have been given the resources to build us into that, to build us into that. That's what these parables are given for. Paul said in Acts 20 and verse 32, he said, I commend you to God and to the word of his grace, which is able to build you up and to deliver to you your inheritance among the saints. That should tell you something. These parables can build you up by building the capacity to excel in you, just like it existed in Jesus, just like Daniel also acquired it through training under the tutelage of the chief eunuch of the king of Babylon at the time. So you see, you need somebody, an expert, a knowledgeable person to guide you through this kind of 40-day boot camp. And our focus is very sharp. It's just the parables, because in them there is the spirit of excellence. If we study them sufficiently, we would encounter the spirit of excellence. We would encounter the spirit of excellence. And it will make a difference in the quality of our leadership. It will put us in the class of leaders who always know what to do. And it will earn us the reputation that Jesus had, where people will say, whatever that man or that woman tells you to do, do it. What a reputation. What a reputation. All right. So it's all about knowledge. It's all about learning. It's all about wisdom. It's all about those intelligence, not skills, but one that is focused on learning from those who have the excellent spirit. And that excellent spirit is in the parables. When you undertake this kind of adventure, the spirit will get into you. The spirit will form in you. And as you put to use what you learn, you nurture that spirit in you. Ezekiel said, and his spirit entered into me when he spoke to me, and he set me upon my feet. That means the things you do are guided by the spirit in you. It is the spirit in those leaders that excel, that make them different. And it is the quality of the spirit in you that makes you to falter, to fail, and not to live up to expectations in critical moments. So you need to upgrade that spirit. You need to refine that spirit. You need to contact the spirit of the Elijahs. All right. It matters who you focus on and who you are learning from. In this case, I'm a guide, but we're learning from the parables of Jesus. And we know that the spirit of excellence was in him. We know that the spirit of excellence was in him. So give yourself a treat. Do what you have never done before. I've asked this question from a number of people without exaggeration. About at least 90% of the people have never taken an an intensive, focused, purposeful study of what the parables are all about and how they apply to different spheres of life. Any wonder we continue to grapple with all kinds of challenges. Any wonder we let our people down as leaders because we lack capacity. Yet, we can get this capacity from somewhere. So, the call is yours to make. The program, the boot camp, is equipped. It's a 40-day boot camp, and we're running through those parables, focused on contacting the spirit of the one who spoke that, because we know that those parables they point us in the direction of what made his life special, what made him do the things that he did, say the things that he said, and obtain the results that he obtained. So you have an opportunity. Equip starts in March, first day of every month. Actually, every month there will be a cohort. So quickly look at the link and secure your seat. And this is not a program that you should miss. For what is at stake, for what you stand to benefit, investing 90 minutes every day for 40 days is not a big deal. It's like a 40-day fast, something you've never done before. But at least you know it's focused. We're not going to be beating about the bush. We're looking at something, we're properly guided, and we know what we're gunning for. All right. And if we do what is right and we follow the leading of the instructor and coach, which I'll be privileged, to undertake for you, a spirit of excellence will be yours at the end of 40 days. Within a short time. Yes, it didn't take more than 40 days for Jesus to get ready and to launch out into his assignment. So it doesn't require more than 40 days. Luckily, there are 38 parables with an introduction, with a closure. 40 days will be done. But those 40 days will be remarkable. Those 40 days, what you will encounter. As they say, you can remain the same. Except those parables don't contain anything. Except they were not spoken by that man whose effect, whose reign, whose impact we're still seeing today, in spite of all of the opposition against him. You can't do anything against the word, the truth, but for the truth. That's how powerful this is. And I hope you can see that. And I hope you will begin to look at those parables with a fresh set of eyes. Remember, it's not about studying them yourself. We're in the days that people think of independence. I can read the Bible myself and all of that. Jesus could read the Bible himself. All right? But even he had to go to the synagogue to learn from hypocrites. He went to learn from what? Hypocrites. The scribes, the Pharisees did not become hypocrites after he had learned from them. He learned from hypocrites and he said it. That's not strange. All right? Because in Matthew 23, beginning from verse 1, he said it to his own disciples. He said, look, listen to what these hypocrites say and do what you learn, what they say, but don't do what they do. Why? Because they never do what they say. So you can learn from hypocrites. Learn, they know the principles, they know the letters, but then do according to the letter and the spirit. But what they never do. So Jesus learned from them. And then Jesus learned from the Holy Spirit. What do you think the 40 days was? What does the Holy Spirit do? Jesus said, I will send you the Holy Spirit. He said, he will lead you into all truth. He will tell you the things to come. All right? So it's not just about praying. It's about learning the spirit of excellence, or an excellent spirit. When you look at the way it was described in Daniel, It's about wisdom, it's about understanding, it's about knowledge, it's about the ability to solve puzzles, the ability to, explain enigmas, the ability to, to pieces hard challenges. All right? It's nothing strange. So it's something you study purposefully. You encounter that spirit, the transfer of that spirit through study and through the practice of the principles that you learn. That's why Paul said, exercise yourself unto godliness. Exercise yourself unto godliness. What's that saying? There is what you need to do, all right, to develop godliness in you. There is a doing. It's not just about sitting and praying and calling, expecting something to fall on you. No, what you are looking for is in the words that have already been written. Locate the lives, follow after that, and listen to what they say and do that. And you will begin to see the Spirit express itself in you. That's what Equip is focused on. That's the thinking, the motivation, the inspiration as well behind it. I have no doubt in my mind what's on offer. And it's yours to decide whether it's something you want to get on board or you want to ignore it. The call is yours. But as God said, I have put before you life and the contrary. Choose life. Choose this one because it will benefit you a great deal. So this is the reason why some leaders excel and others falter and fail and just get by. And I hope you benefited from it. Don't forget, the link to join Equip is on the screen. Go ahead, make the call, get on board. It will be my pleasure to welcome you to that bootcamp. 40 days, a life-changing experience, an adventure like no other, and you come out operating on a new frequency of life, the frequency of excellence, the frequency of excellence. Thank you for staying with me this afternoon. As you must have seen, this is a special, all right, I call it Leading Lessons on Leadership, and I hope that you have, gained something from this. Enjoy the rest of your day. God bless you. Bye-bye. My name remains Olatunji Shogodo. Don't forget, check the description. You will find the link. Do the needful. It's for your benefit. Bye-bye.